Good afternoon, XJW tubers. Gene here, Truth Survives 411, and still processing some things that I was thinking about that I wanted to share today. And one of those is around this matter of what you're doing right now, which is watching a video. But it's from perhaps a slightly different angle than what you're thinking. Have you given some thought to or considered why is it that the governing body, by virtue of JW Broadcasting, as well as regional conventions now, I guess is what they're called. I left in 2013, so I missed a lot of the carnival-like activities that have been taking place in the last couple of years. Just shocking, suffice it to say, without going off on too much of a tangent in terms of what we've seen happen to this organization just in the last 2 to 3 years. Absolutely unbelievable. But when it comes to the governing body and the content that is dispensed at these various meetings, you notice how it seems the governing body wants to inject themselves more so into the local congregations than we've ever seen at any time in history for this organization. Why is that? I'm sure there's any number of reasons as to what the thinking may be, but I suspect one could simply be a lack of trust. And you might say, well, what do you mean by that, Truth Survives 411? Lack of trust. Well, here's what I'm saying. I believe, and I'd love to get your take on this, but I believe that the governing body, the branch, the leadership, the headquarters, does not trust local elders, for that matter, even some traveling elders, nearly as much as they once did. They do not trust them to deliver the content and the message in the way that they would expect it to be delivered to have the desired impact. So essentially, they have pulled the outlines, pulled the platform from under the rugs of the local brothers in a lot of cases, with the idea that we're going to dictate and disseminate information here straight from the mothership, for lack of a better term, so that they can essentially control the message, control the intent, and not have this varied response to the way local brothers may deliver messages. They don't even trust them now as much to deliver a manuscript as they once did. Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand that they're not delivering all of the content, but the number of times that I have been seeing online that they're delivering these various parts on these conventions and these little monthly meetings or broadcasting episodes is way more than anything I think any of us would have imagined. So it's very interesting to see that they do not seem to have the same confidence in the brothers locally. Not to mention with all of this merging of congregations that's taking place, there used to be a time where they valued training and educating, supposedly educating, men to be able to teach and share the Bible's message with the local congregations. But yet not so much anymore. Wonder why? I think it boils down to they're essentially coming out of the bag as to what their objective and their agenda really is, which is essentially a couple of things: control and money. They can control the message because in many cases when it comes to the heavy stuff, they're delivering the message. And then when it comes to money, they have the ability to try to impact and impress upon the flock, large numbers at a time, what the disposition of God's organization really is, at least from their perspective. What comes to mind is Stephen Lett, delivering this JW Broadcasting some time ago, a couple months, I guess, where he was talking about what we have coming in doesn't really match what's going out. Something along those lines. But basically, from mother, you get the direct message: hey, we low on cash, so bring it in. Give Jehovah your valuable things. As opposed to a letter being read at the local congregation, or as opposed to the traveling overseer coming in and perhaps saying something to the local congregations on his visits. No. Gotta come straight from the mothership. I think it boils down to The reason video is so much more prevalent in this organization is not just that they're trying to keep up with technology. They're trying to essentially control the message, protect their funds as much as they can, and at the same time, it reflects a lack of trust of the local gifts and men that they helped appoint, until of course now the circuit overseer is taking that responsibility, I'm told. But these are gifts and men that they've appointed. They don't trust them to deliver the simplest of messages. What does that tell you about this organization? Yes, you heard that in the background. Somebody's choosing to drive a motorcycle by. But what does that tell you about the organization, God's organization?